Hello, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Sheppard Pratt Minorities and Mental Health Forum, Holistic Wellness for 2025. For those of you who are tuning in, we appreciate it. And you can make sure you go to shepherdpratt.org or you can call 410-938-5000. I have my professionals here with me, Dr. Rachna Raisinghani, Raisinghani.
Raisinghani.
Raisinghani. Okay, I apologize.
Rise and Shining's good too.
Well, she's the medical director of the Division of Consultation, Liaison, and Psychiatry at Sheppard Pratt. We also have Rebecca Denison. Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So Rebecca is a certified diabetes care and education specialist and registered dietitian and nutritionist educator at GBMC.
You got it.
You've been doing this for over 35 years now. Also, you're involved with show people and teach people the FODMAP diet, which is for irritable bowel syndrome.
That is correct.
All right.
I do lots of things. I don't like to be bored.
Well, we look forward to talking to you more about all of that. We also have fitness guru, Dr. Pat, born in Mount Vernon, New York, raised in New Rochelle, and he's also a professional that graduated from Towson University. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you for that.
You also have people that are in the Maryland area, and you are a lifetime fitness trainer right here
Yes,
at Lifetime Fitness. Also in the Mid-Atlantic sales representative for Pro Standard Premium Brand, offering authentic apparel collections for premium licensed headwear for the NBA, NHL, NFL, and Major League Baseball as well.
Absolutely.
And you also let people know that your fitness strategy is basically mindset, positivity, self-investment, and the best investment you can make is in yourself.
100%.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the forum. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to help educate people and give some professional advice. All right. So what we like to do is start first with Coach Pat. Now, what made you want to get into fitness?
It was a little bit of me going back to, like, not going into depression, but kind of was almost sort of kind of a thing. So my life was like just changing, just going into like a different journey, a part of my life. Like I became a dad and doing the things that I thought was cool, like hanging out at the clubs and partying. All those things weren't cool anymore. So it was like I was like, whoa. So I had to transition and change. And in that time, where a lot of things were being taken away from me, I knew my health and fitness wasn't something that I could do. Like I just said, let me take control of what I can. And that's basically my health. So I got into running, and I started running, and that was my one thing that I decided to do. And it basically transformed, and it grew into like a flower where I'm doing a whole bunch of things where it all came from a decision of deciding to run and put fitness first. And that's basically it.
Sounds like that's a part of maturity and growing up and realizing that, you know, you have to change your lifestyle and leave the party scene behind.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yep.
Well, to move on next, Dr. Rachna, what does holistic wellness encompass? And, you know, when you talk about mind, body, and spirit.
So I think the two words that I would associate with holisticness are, number one, being comprehensive, meaning taking into account several aspects of well-being, including physical, mental, intellectual, spiritual, social, environmental, and financial even. So number one is comprehensive, and the second thing is that one that is in balance or harmony. So when we talk about holisticness, I consider taking into account all aspect of someone's well-being, as I mentioned, and doing these such that they are in balance or proportion with each other, and they help us stay healthy or get to an even better state of health and achieve the goals that we set out for ourselves, just like Coach Pat said.
Okay. All right. Well, appreciate that. And Dr. Rebecca, what is how do people eat really impact their ability to manage stress, manage obesity, and things like that we need to have people understand in 2025? Now, I say this because people make New Year's resolutions. People say they want to change going into the new year. They make reasons to do this, but they backslide, or they start off in the gym for the first 2 months and then they move away from it. So what do you think the impact on that is?
Well, I think it's important for people to make realistic goals and not try to jump across the Grand Canyon and take steps as they're hiking. It takes 10,000 steps sometimes to go on certain journeys. And so you take one step at a time. And what we eat is what nourishes our body. So it's so important what we put in our bodies, because if we don't put the right things in our bodies, our digestive process is not going to break it down, and the cells are not going to get the nutrition that they need. So that's going to affect how you feel, because 90% of the happy hormones, dopamine and serotonin, are made in the GI tract. And then about 90% of your immune system are impacted by your digestion. So you're not going to be able to have a good mental attitude if you're not eating right, and you're not going to be able to fight off all the different bugs and bacteria that's after you and viruses.
Well, viruses and parasites are a lot of things that I think people that go through some of the mental health issues get impacted by. Dr. Rachna, in what ways can you say the holistic approach of wellness can positively impact the individual's mental health and well-being? Excuse me.
So I think it increases our chance of success. So, we may see something manifested as a mental health problem or a mental health challenge, but it may have its roots in other aspects of somebody's life. So, for example, a person may have irritable bowel syndrome, and that may then cause anxiety and some other issues. So if we only treat it as anxiety, but with not take into account the other aspects of one's well-being, that, or lack of well-being in this case, that are accounting for or presenting as mental health challenges, we will have less likelihood of achieving success and maintaining success. So a holistic approach definitely guarantees greater likelihood of doing well at whatever we set out to do.
Well, one of the things I do commend all of you on, but Sheppard Pratt, you have built a community for people to really get involved and get help with the mental illness. And I love this, the wellness and healthy part, because sometimes people don't want to talk about, first of all, their mental health, but secondly, that having a holistic approach sometimes is better than being, better than medicating and suppressing what's going on. So let's talk about the community that Sheppard Pratt has, how people can get involved, call you, or go to the website to find out how they can get that support.
So it depends on where a person is in their trajectory. So if somebody is in need of really acute help, they can certainly come onto our campus, walk into one of our psychiatric urgent cares where they can get a comprehensive evaluation by trained clinicians to see what is their patient's healthcare need at that moment in time, and then they can guide them to the right level of care. For more sort of wellness type activities, we have a lot of outpatient avenues, including for mental health conditions, addictions, etc., or just mental fitness, where people can go see providers on a regular basis, make sure that they are staying on the course of, staying healthy, staying the course, or if there is any new problem that arises, that they get help in time before things become more acute or more serious. And that's what some of the ways that we help them with achieving wellness and maintaining it.
Okay. Well, Coach Pat, I'm coming to you in a second, but Rebecca, I have a question because exercise, and I'm going to get to Coach Pat with that, but exercise and mental health, or lack of exercise, mental health and physical health kind of go hand in hand. And can you explain how regular exercising can do something for a person who's going through stuff?
So just to break down, basically when you're exercising, you're improving your circulation, which is taking all the nutrients to the cells, and then it's taking the trash out. So you want that circulation to be moving around. And it helps you burn up the body fat. And it also helps you have the right hormones to tell you when you're hungry and when you're full. Lack of sleep can also be a challenge for having the right hormones to tell you you're hungry and you're full. So that's one of the key things with exercise. It has tons of things, helps your heart be strong, helps you build muscle. But the main thing is getting the nutrition to the cells and taking the trash out.
All right. I like the way she says taking the trash out.
Yeah, you got to get that trash out.
Well, we know what you mean, but yeah, I understand. For those of you who need more information, you can go to sheppardpratt.org, or you can call 410-938-5000. If you have a question or you want to get involved with what's going on right now as you're watching, you can make sure that you chat with us or send us a message so we can acknowledge your question or what you're going through on screen as well. All right, Coach Pat. So when people are not exercising, do you find that when you're working out with people or you're dealing with people who have come to the gym, their mental attitude and the way they approach their workout or their fitness routine, is that affected because they are not doing this on a consistent basis?
Correct. Big time, big time. The most famous word that I always hear people say is that I can't. I can't do this. I can't do that. Those people are not consistent. So by not being consistent, exercising, those people that are exercising, they are starting their day, or not even necessarily starting their day, but they're making the right step into a right direction where they're making good decisions, right? So the blood is flowing, good circulation, heart is pumping, you're getting the trash out. You know what I mean? You're not going to put that trash right back in. You're going to start making better decisions. The ones that are not working out, unfortunately, they make poor decisions on what they're putting in their bodies, and they're not getting the motivation to want to go work out. I find it for myself is and I was thinking about it when Rebecca was talking about food. I do it sometimes. I may eat something I shouldn't be eating so early in the morning, some type of sweets. And once I make that bad decision, that moment, the whole day is dedicated to poor food, poor choices, and not feeling good. But when I start out with an exercise, start out eating right, then I just the decision making is just automatic, and we are where we are because of our decision making. So that day I decided to run, was the seed planted to bring me here. I never thought I would be here discussing fitness and health amongst people, but just that one decision, that one step, like Rebecca said, that's what it's about, and it's going in that right direction. And just to jump on something else Rebecca said again is that, and that's so key that I really enjoyed, is that like fitness, you just have to you have to embrace it. You have to embrace it, accept it, and know that you have to move your body every single day.
There you go. One of the things I will say is that I started on a journey years ago with learning to fast, learning to skip certain meals, but I start my day off with exercise, fruit, and water. 32 ounces of water first. And by the time I drink that, I do fruit, and then I go back to 32 ounces of water. How important is it for people to make sure they start their day not in a rush, mentally prepared, and eating the right foods at the right time? Everyone can have their own version of that. So that's for all the panelists. How important is that to make sure that those things happen? You don't start your day in a rush. You mentally prepare yourself. You make sure you consume enough water and eat the right foods to start your day.
So one analogy I like to use is if you start off with your foot in the trash can or in a bucket, you're going to have a hard time the whole rest of the day. So it really does help your mindset to get the day started right. Not saying that you can't have a good day if you have a bad morning, but it's going to be easier to have a good day if you start it off right. You can get back on track.
You can.
There's nothing that you can't fix.
Exactly.
Dr. Rauschen?
So I was just going to talk about a book that I read called Atomic Habits, which just says that, one small habit or one small change begets another change in that same direction. So similarly, doing one small thing right in the morning does put us on a path to subsequently making better choices through the day. And it's, being healthy, being well is not about one giant or step or one big flash of motivation that we get, which happens only once in a while. But it's more about these day-to-day decisions that we make that take us in the right direction towards our goal of being healthy.
Okay. Coach.
Yeah, you guys nailed it again. You guys are making my job so easy. Conan, you set it off. Those are the principles. You know what I mean? It's by you not waking up in a rush, you've made the household is happy, right? Like just not being in a rush. Like everybody in the house is happy. Like I know how to interact more with my son. I wake my son up an hour before he needs to be up, so he could. I know he needs like 30 minutes just to get up, so I have to wake him. I plan that for him just because of stuff I've learned, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna rush him. You know what I mean? I'm not going to rush myself as well. So I'm going to let him know a little bit earlier. I know he needs that time. Let me wake him up. So not starting in a rush makes the whole house and you in traffic so much peaceful. You drive differently. You know what I mean? And all of those things matter. I did not know. I didn't realize it, but when somebody beeps the horn at me and I'm not in a rush, like I take it so differently. I didn't realize how much it affects me though. It really does. It does. I'm like, man, I didn't know if it feels like that. But I just try to brush it off my shoulders really fast. I'm like, oh, too bad I'm not in a rush. I'm getting to where I need to go. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that disgruntled driver. You know what I mean? So that's just another step of just waking up early. The water is so important. Doctors are always telling everybody, drink your water, drink your water. Water is your best way to start your diet. You know why? Because you don't have to drink soda. You get to cut back on so many calories, right? Like it's like saving money, right? With your software, you want to save money, cut back on all those subscriptions. And boom, you instantly made some money just like that. Like just cutting back on a few things. So cut back. You want to save your health, cut back on the sugar. Cut it back. Drink water. And then now you're on your way to your diet, calorie deficit, right? So you're aware of your diet. Exercise it. You put that on there, and just those little steps of the habit. You do one little habit, you knock that habit out, then you stack it. Knock that habit, then you stack it and stack it. So one habit at a time to get you where you need to be. And that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, so Dr. Rachna, is there any particular group, ethnic group, or people that have more issues with mental health and wellness and eating properly and making sure that they stay focused on their diet and making sure they are up and moving, as Rebecca said, to keep the junk out.
She's all about the trash today with the examples,
Right.
but it's good. It drives the point home. So, Conan, what I would say is that I won't say it's one particular group, but I would say that there are certain risk factors and challenges that make it more difficult for some people than others to achieve that goal again. So one is genetics. There are certain ethnic groups that unfortunately have greater challenges in the health arena. I'm of South Asian descent, and cardiovascular disease, high cholesterol, things of that nature are just very rampant in some communities. Similarly, obesity, kidney disease in Black communities, and so on and so forth. Each several communities have certain genetic or inherent uh, uh, factors that make it a little more challenging than others. Economic challenges are a huge one, and they don't discriminate based on a particular race, but it could be anyone. Many of the activities or habits recommended to achieve wellness do require a certain amount of investment of time and money, and having those resources allows us to free up time. If you have childcare, you could go to the gym. To get childcare, it costs money, so on and so forth. And or as we have seen, it's much easier to buy food that is comparatively unhealthy, and making healthier choice, eating fresh food tends to be more expensive. So there are some ways in which certain communities keep getting disadvantaged, and if this accumulates over time, then it just becomes a very difficult risk to dislodge and
Okay.
separate from a community.
For everyone, all my panelists, is there in Maryland? There was a question from Churchill Streets, and is there any medical assistance that covers or helps with gym benefits or gym memberships to make sure that people are doing their best to stay in shape and be healthy?
I'll take this one real quick. And of course, I'm sure Coach Pat has more information, but I just did a quick Google search which says Medicaid covers gym membership in some states, so it just depends state by state. In Maryland, MPC or Maryland Physician Care does appear to offer some free gym membership benefits to certain Medicaid members.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so you might
Good
want to
move.
check with them.
You're local.
All right. Now, some people now, what I realized is going into 2025, 2024 was really stressful for some people, and I believe now that more than ever, there's more people understanding that they might need to speak with someone about their mental health. And now with the food in play, is it easier for people to not so much because it's a stigma with going to speak with somebody about your mental health, but do you find it that it's easier now for people to speak up or seek mental health counseling or anything, and are you experience an influx of more people than before, if that makes sense? Hopefully
That makes sense.
I can. Is it okay if I?
yes, anybody.
That's you.
So, all right. So I feel like we are living in much better times in terms of accessibility, and also being able to do so a little more discreetly compared to in the past. Like, there are many platforms, and even the more conventional outpatient psychiatric practices do offer telepsychiatry appointments. So that has certainly allowed a lot of people who again couldn't find childcare, or transportation was hard, can't take time of work, to go and make that connection and receive the help that they need. And also, these providers tend to be licensed in different states. So it has certainly extended increased the breadth of availability of therapists and psychiatrists. So I think people are, in fact, seeking help more often or more openly compared to the way they did previously. And with each successive year, I feel we are improving stigma or reducing stigma.
Okay. All right. Did you want to say something, Rebecca? I look like you were getting ready to say something.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this at GBMC since early 2000, and I can tell a big difference now the last couple of years versus at the beginning. We would ask questions about how they're doing and anxiety and depression, and people were very quiet about it. And nowadays, I mean, you have some people that are quiet, but they're much more open about it. When you suggest canceling or talk about canceling, more patients are open to that concept. Whereas before, I don't need that. Yeah, I'm okay, you know. And now they seem to understand that it can be another avenue where they can get support.
Have you noticed that there's more men coming in than usual? Because men have always been hard with getting that assistance because we're raised as being tough. We're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to work through it. Oh, just you can soldier your way through it. Have you noticed that more men?
I have, yes, that more men are open to talking about it too. I would say women are better, but more men than used to be. So I think the stigma is getting less. It's still there.
Okay. All right. Have you noticed that more people are getting more help, but also by changing their diet and going to a plant-based diet? What do you all think about that? And everybody can chime in one at a time. Coach, as a matter of fact, you want to take that one first, Coach? You haven't said anything.
No. Yeah, I'll say something about that. Plant-based diet, I would try it. It's something that I think that everybody should do. See how your body responds to it. You know, I did it for some time, and it was frustrating for me. So I didn't take to it because if it's gonna frustrate me and not make me feel good, that defeats the purpose, right?
Right.
So, and it puts me in a box, right? So I do something like 80-20. Okay, so 80% of the time I'll eat vegetables. I'll try to stay away from carbs, just because I want to, for my fitness purposes, things of that nature, for my exercise. So I try to stay away from that. White rice, just those things. So I do the vegetables, fish. You know what I mean? I'll cut. So then the 20%, I'll go with the mac and cheese. I'll go with the yams, whatever. Like I will go with all those things. Pasta, right? Now the stuff starts rolling in my head.
All that stuff.
And I call it treats, right? It's a treat, not a cheat day. I call it a treat day, right? So there's 30 days in a month, 24 days. I'll eat very healthy and stay focused. And say 6 days, I'm going out with friends to eat. I go to somebody's house. They offer me some food. I'm not going to say no because I'm not constrained to this diet. So I'd like to stick to like the moderation. You know what I mean? So I'll point everybody to the Mediterranean diet, food style of eating. You know what I mean? Like it's very healthy, a lot of fish, a lot of veg, things of that nature. So I try to make it like Doctor was saying, you gotta eat. You gotta work with what you have. So if you're in a community that doesn't offer so much healthy stuff, try to find that healthy stuff in there. Like if you go to the gas station to there's bananas in there. I don't have to go back, go get the chips. You know what I mean? There's a banana choice in there. There's coconut water. There's regular water. Like there's still choices, and I'll make those choices because I know I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use my 6 days wisely when I want to use them and eat what I want to eat. So that's pretty much it with that.
That's called discipline. Rebecca, what do you think, Rebecca?
So I think the biggest thing to think about a plant-based diet is you don't have to be vegetarian. You don't have to be vegan. Plant-based, you want to increase more fruit, about 2 to 3 times a day, eating fruits, and more vegetables, 2 to 3 cups a day. And there's been a recent study that just came out that as long as you didn't eat way too much protein, you're actually improving the bacterial amount of the good bacteria in your body versus the bad bacteria in your digestive tract just by eating more fruits and vegetables. So you can do vegetarian. You could do it in a step kind of thing, like meatless Mondays. It used to be a thing. It's probably a little bit old, but like not every day
I
has
like
to be
that.
vegetarian. It can be steps in the direction, and then you can decide if it's for you. I don't think
Works for you,
everybody
yeah.
needs to do a vegetarian diet, but I think we need more
Right.
fruits and vegetables.
Okay. All right. Dr. Rachna?
I think I would just have to agree with what the coach and Rebecca said. Like, I'm vegetarian just because that's culturally very prevalent in India where I was raised. So it's not that hard for me, but I know it's hard for some other people to incorporate that. But again, I don't think it means doing away with some things. It just means adding more to what we're already doing and making a little bit of adjustment, like, baked chicken instead of fried chicken, so it's
Right.
still
Right.
so just making slight changes, and I think those kind of steps make it more likely that somebody will stick with a diet rather than making that 10,000 step commitment that Rebecca alluded to earlier. So baby steps.
Okay. All right. All right. So one of the things I will say, the reason I am doing this is because, I've been through a lot, but, and I'm a pescatarian now, but, I do eat fish, but mainly throughout the day, it's just fruits and vegetables. I eat fruits all day long. So apples, mangoes, grapes, seeded fruit. So for me, it's a difference. So I think that when people learn that it's not as hard as they think it is, it can be something that helps you maintain a healthy life, but also maintain your weight as well because I went back to my natural weight after I started eating more vegetables and more fruits. But I eat like Rebecca said, Dr. Rebecca, I eat more fruits than vegetables. So I'm eating fruits all day long, and that's like I said, all the seeded fruit. All throughout the entire summer, I ate watermelon and seeds, but I mixed all my fruits up. So I think that what we can do is hopefully encourage people to make sure not only are they talking to all of you about their mental health and the things that is going on in life, but also a healthy diet. Um, in this new generation, do you find that some of the kids are shying away from the healthier diet, or people becoming more consciously aware? Rebecca, we can start with you.
Okay, that's a hard question. I think there's so much information out there that people don't always know what information to pay attention to.
Okay.
So I did have some websites that I would refer people to. There's the Glucose Goddess, there's Being Bridget, and Eat This. And the Eat This, Not That is sort of interesting because you can find choices to do instead. So it's not like saying, oh, don't eat that. It's saying, then you can try this. And so I think some people go down the rabbit hole and they just don't know what to do. And so that maybe some people and other people are able to figure out and make smaller steps towards awareness. So I'm
Well,
not sure I really answered your question. I just gave some information.
that's okay. That's okay. Well, one of the reasons I should have given you a better way to answer that by saying that I noticed that with social media and all the things going on and the fast-paced life, everybody's moving. People are wanting to eat on the go. They're wanting to make quick meals. And if you don't have a mom or a dad or both parents at home cooking breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're always grabbing on the go. So do you find that more kids, of course, they say, there's more people becoming obese in the United States because I guess of either bad choices or just being on the go all the time and not taking their time. Dr. Rachna, what do you think?
I think there is a lot of truth to that. Plus, the bad choices certainly taste better. So it's easier to fall prey to that. I mean, there is a science behind even those snack foods, or the junk food that that achieves that perfect combination of tastes to make it really addictive to keep eating it again and again. So they don't make it easier to make the good choices. So again, preparation is key, and then also looking for, even amongst packaged foods, or when lifestyle doesn't allow like cooking or prepping meals, there is a way to sort of differentiate which are the healthier grab and go choices. Like Coach Pat said, you enter a gas station, you could go for a bag of chips, or you could pick popcorn or a banana, etc. So at every step, I think if again, key is balance. If that's where the stage we are in right now, then we have to go with what's doable in our life. So accept, taking some grab and go foods, etc., but keeping with us healthy options so that we are less tempted to fall for the unhealthy ones.
Okay. All right. Now, speaking of unhealthy and healthy, there's a lot of beverage drinks out here that kids are being advertised to, and adults are drinking on a regular. Can we talk about some of the beverage choices that are healthier than some of the ones that aren't healthy? And I guess we don't want to say names of beverages, but we can talk about the healthy beverages that you guys believe that can help some people, especially people that are trying to work out, people that are working on their mental health, and not trying to have too much sugar intake. Who wants to start? Coach, thank
Yep.
you.
I was just about, I said it in my head. You heard me. So, yeah, so I'm going to tell you my journey and how it worked for me. That's the best way I like to teach. I like to teach on the things that I've done. And on my journey, when I cut out the soda, I got to shout out the names because I can't help it. I went right to Propel. Propel was still flavored. It didn't have a lot of sugar in it. It did have some sugar in it, but didn't have a lot. I was drinking that. Then I went from that, and then I got into the water. All right. Then I really got into the water. Then the water got a little boring, so I went to the sparkling water side. Right. So yeah, it got boring. I need that sparkling water, man. It just does. It's fireworks. It's 4th of July in my mouth. You know what I mean? So pause. So I do that. I get that. So I do the sparkling water and I balance it to that extent. You know what I mean? But I do like taking those necessary steps. You know what I mean? I don't believe in just saying, hey, just go straight to the water. Find something that has less sugar in there and get your taste buds kind of used to it. And as you know, you'll grow into being able to, diluting it all and be able to drink just straight up water eventually. And that was my path. And so my son now, since I started that before he was born, he's only seen water in the house. So now that's all he's automatic. He does drink those juice, but I'll put the cases of waters in there and they're gone. Takes 2 or 3, puts them in his bag, takes them to school. I don't have to say nothing. And that was just it starts from home. You know what I mean? If you want to teach those kids that, they have to see it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They have to see it. So
lead by example.
That's it.
All right, Rebecca.
Yeah, some other beverage options. One of my favorite is herbal teas, and some of them are naturally sweet. So passion flowers, different orange teas. Ginger tea is great for digestion. Turmeric tea is really good for the autoimmune system. And you can ice it or you can do it hot. And so there's a lot of comfort in holding a hot cup. Most of us are used to doing or if we're older, we're used to the coffee, but that hot tea has a comfort level to it too that can really help your mental health. And then lastly, there's kombucha. And kombucha, some of them has more sugar in than others, but it's also goes back to that GI tract that I just don't leave alone, that you want to have that good bacteria in your GI tract so that your body's able to do what it needs to be doing properly. So those are some good ideas. I like Coach Patch's ideas too, though.
All right. Dr. Rachna?
My go-tos would be coconut water and just plain water infused with fresh fruit, just on a regular basis if you can't do plain water, and then nothing like a good cup of coffee. But
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do it on the regular, right? So so just to stay hydrated, I think my go-tos are the two things I mentioned.
Okay. So I'm gonna give you my secret with if I do drink coffee or when I do drink coffee. Once in a while, I may go get some coffee with. I never use sugar, ever, but black coffee with honey. Have you tried that? Delicious. Try it. It's better than putting sugar and stuff in it. But Dr. Rachna, to stick with you, during this time, what would you recommend for people that are looking for a dietary and fitness health plan that are trying to get assistance with their mental health?
Good question. So again, it depends, what the goal is. So if somebody is just trying to improve fitness and take it just to the next level, I would say small steps, just like we discussed, making small choices that are healthy and incrementally, adding on those would get us to that point. If somebody has more challenges in those aspects, like if they are seriously limited because of dietary issues or poor levels of fitness and inability to do a lot, I think just self-help is not sufficient. I think at that point, it becomes essential to partner with a professional to lay out a good roadmap for success.
Okay. This is for everyone. Have you found that for people that are saying that they have mental health issues or want to come to get assistance, is just a simple plan to exercise more and eat healthier, does that seem to help some of the people that are being treated or need assistance? Rebecca, you want to answer first?
Sure. I am amazed at how much some small, simple steps will improve a person's outlook on life, their sleep patterns, their happiness. And if you can break it down to something they can accomplish, then it's going to help with their confidence level so that they can do it again and improve it and get it even better. So yes, it doesn't take, you don't have to be exercising 5 times a day, an hour a day to get improvement. Is sort of what I'm saying. Sometimes starting with 5 or 10 minutes, a couple of times a day, or just getting up and moving an hour, every hour awake, maybe a minute or two, just getting up out of your chair and moving, that can be a step, and it really does improve their health and their outlook.
Okay, real quick, for those of you just tuning in, or for those of you that are watching, this is Sheppard Pratt's Minorities and Mental Health Forum, Holistic Wellness for 2025. And if you need more information, you can go to shepherdpratt.org or call 410-988-5000. Dr. Rachna, would you like to answer as well?
Can you frame the question for me one more time?
Okay, so I was asking, do you find that people that are dealing with mental health issues, if exercise and eating right plays a role in them feeling better, getting better, and being able to do, work through their mental issues?
It depends. I mean, so if I tell a person who's severely depressed that start exercising and you'll feel better, they may never come back to me again for a follow-up visit, because at that point, they initially need some treatment to jumpstart their recovery from that illness before they can then incorporate these things to prevent them from getting ill or seriously unwell in the future. So I would say diet and fitness have a role to play, but there is a time for everything. So we have to consider the larger spectrum of the condition or the situation that a person is in, and also make sure that that advice is given at the right time.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
Coach, have you seen improvement in people as they come and work out?
Absolutely, absolutely. And some of them, I have this run group. Um, we started a run group at Lifetime Fitness, and we took it away for the winter months, because the club professionals thought that people wouldn't want to work out. And then, but I had one guy who just said, I can't do it. I was like, just walk. And it's like, I said, because they'll come to me, run club consists of, you guys are going to run past me and all that. I said, no, because this is what's going to happen. You're going to go at your own pace. We're going to go 20 minutes out, and then we're going to go 20 minutes back. Guess what? You're going to be in the front. You're going to know what that feels like. Right? When we turn around, go 20 minutes back, people in the front. So now they get to experience that. So my way of doing this is getting them to experience the success in it, and let them see where they have to go from there, and it's their own success. So one gentleman said to me, he's like, I started out running 12 miles, 12-minute miles. Yeah, 12-minute miles. Every mile he ran 12 minutes. He was so excited. He cut down to 11:5. You know what I mean? And he was just so excited about that. And everybody's time is different. Everybody's pace is different. So I use the running as my way of challenging my people for their mental health, to see where they are, let them assess themselves, and then they go and grow from there. You know what I mean? So that step of getting to know who you are, and what you're capable of, and where you have to start with yourself first, right? And
Right.
then it'll open up and open out, and the things you need will come to you and help you and get you to where you gotta go. So yeah, I've seen, and I haven't been running. I'm in Vegas right now. They're still running, the same crew. And mind you, the club stopped it. I still kept it going, kept them running, and
You
kept
work.
it moving. And that's the whole point. So from them to I'm not running no 3 miles. Get out of here. No way. You know what I mean? Now I showed them how to do it. They took the first step. Now they say they could do it. They're doing it on their own. So that's the goal.
So I'm gonna give it up for Coach Pat. For those of you who just tuning in, or if you're watching right now, Coach Pat is live at the gym on his phone because he wanted to make sure he was a part of this. So as he said, his crew is still working out while he's giving you this information. So we greatly appreciate you for that. All right.
No problem. No problem.
That anyone can answer. It came from India Shaw. She said, how can we make mental health, nutrition, and fitness more approachable and accessible to minority communities? And who wants to answer that one? Because we have to get more information out, and we have to get more people moving and getting involved and being serious about not just their mental health, but their physical health too. Because I always say your health is wealth, because if you're not healthy, no matter what you have, you can't enjoy it if you're
Mhm.
not physically able to be mobile and also able to, work on your mental capacity.
I can try to attempt an answer
Okay.
to this question. So I think there are different things that can be done to make mental health, nutrition, and fitness more approachable and accessible. It starts with a conversation. It starts with a desire to incorporate these better. If there are multiple people with the same kind of challenges in terms of accessibility of these resources, then the answers lie in making more systems level changes, like more advocacy, or talking to our government leaders, and looking for ways to increase the availability of resources so that these healthier ways of life become more accessible to everyone. And then even if we do it, the benefits of these create ripple effects and improve health for communities in general. The second thing is to try and move away from a perceived ideal. So everyone has this sort of not everyone, but many of us may have this image of a perfectly healthy person, who do yoga and wake up early and go for a 5 mile jog, etc. And that is the ideal. If you can achieve it, props to you. But sometimes the fear of not being able to achieve an ideal prevents us from taking the first step itself. So, talking amongst ourselves, setting realistic goals, and saying that you know, even in my current state, there are things that I can do to be more holistically better or well. And then that makes it more that easier. And then finally associating ourselves with the people who lift us up and motivate us, and also setting boundaries with those that make us fall into bad habits is important. So those are my suggestions.
Yeah, those that make you fall into bad habits, yes. In 2025, tell them, wait a minute, hold up, hold back for just a minute. Let me get myself together. We all working on ourselves. Okay, Rebecca, you wanted to say something?
Well, I liked what she said. I think I would just add on finding friends and family and community that you can just do things with, once a week, get together and try some new menus, new recipes, whatever it is that you're interested in, or find a buddy to go walking with or hiking with or something like that. I think community is key. And if you surround yourself, as she was saying, with people that are going to support a healthy lifestyle, you're going to be more likely to keep it up. And we do live in a toxic environment, so we have to sort of consciously change the channel that we're tuned to help us remember that we can be healthy. And we just need to make those small steps in that direction.
I like that. Look, we have like eight more minutes or more left, but what I want to do is let each of you take a moment to tell people how they can find you, whether it's through your social media or through Sheppard Pratt, GBMC, or through Lifetime Fitness. And I will start with Rachna, so you can let people know how they can get in touch with you at Sheppard Pratt or the Department for Nutrition or Mental Health.
So I work at both Sheppard Pratt and GBMC, so they can find me through either of those websites, and then send us an email or reach out to our marketing department if there is a specific question I can be of help with. And they are always happy to reach out to me and convey any questions that I can address.
Okay. Rebecca?
So I also work at GBMC, and I work at the Gecko Diabetes and Nutrition Center. So if you just Googled diabetes GBMC, you would come up with our center.
Okay. Coach Pat?
Sorry, guys, I have to be on mute for a second. I don't want too much noise to take over. But Coach Pat, there goes my Instagram handle at Coach Pat 1804. If you want to find me, you can find me outside running. We have a Lifetime Fitness. At Lifetime Fitness, we have the Run Club over there. You can go to Lifetime Fitness in Columbia, Maryland. You can get the information from there. I also run a Run Club at the Mac Club over on President Street in Baltimore, Maryland. We run in the Inner Harbor along the water and everything like that. We do those Saturday mornings at 8 o'clock. All right. So if you guys want to find me, you can find me running and keeping my mental health where it needs to be at Coach Pat 1804. That's all I got for you.
Commercial Pat, there you go. Go for it. If there's something that each of you could leave our viewers with, whether it's about mental health or nutrition, what advice would you give them? Or what would be your slogan or your thing that you say for people in this new year, this new era, and with so much going on with social media and in their lives? So what advice or what is your thing that you would leave with people? Rebecca, would like to start with you. Do you have a saying or something that you give people on a regular basis?
I mean, the saying is different depending on what their issues are. So I guess maybe it would be that a journey of 10,000 miles starts with one step. And so all you have to do is take one step. And if you've taken a few steps backwards, just, you will then make it up and go forwards again. And sometimes we go in this little weavy thing. It's not the straight path. And that the main thing is making a decision that you're going to make a change and not giving up.
Okay. I like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Who's going?
Who's going next?
I'll go. Oh, Rachna,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay, fair. So I would say try till you succeed would be the mantra I would give to people. Like, whether I work with patients that are dealing with addiction and they keep relapsing and we want to motivate them to keep trying to attain sobriety, or in our for the purpose of our conversation, to do better in all aspects of life. Don't let a setback define who you are. Just keep trying, and don't go for perfect, go for better than what you're doing now.
There you go. Okay. All right, Coach Pat.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave this on the table for you guys. It's constantly asking yourself, did you work out today? That's what I want to leave with the people. When you're finished with this, when this is over, you're about to go to bed, ask yourself, did you work out today? Tomorrow morning, ask yourself, did you work out today? Always ask yourself, did you work out today? And if you did it, what could you do to take that step in that right direction, that one step that we're all talking about? And yeah, that's it. I do got one more place where you can find me, though, too. I am on episode 39 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love. Pop the Balloon or Find Love, episode 39. It just made Saturday Night Live, too. Dave Chappelle made a spoof on it, a little joke on it, too. So episode 39, Pop the Balloon. You'll find me on there, too. Pop the Balloon or Find Love. That's it.
Well, congratulations on that. Now, I have a
Thank
few
you.
that I do say that I want people to think about these. I say, make your days count. And when you find your why, you find your way, because we all have a why. You have a reason why you are doing the jobs you're doing. You have a reason on why you're helping people the way you're helping them. And part of it is your purpose or your gift. And there's people that are going through different changes with mental health issues and bad diet, going through challenges. And I just say we grow through what we go through. And those are some things that we have to learn. And I think that what you all do is phenomenal. I thank Sheppard Pratt for always having us here to discuss topics that, maybe we say some things that other people won't say, but we make ourselves available for people to have an open mind and to be able to discuss these things. Also thank GBMC for doing what you all do, as well as Sheppard Pratt. And Coach Pat, thank you for taking time out of your running schedule with all your runners that are with you working out. So to wrap up, I would just like to ask, do you advocate or want people to have clean eating habits? Because one of the things I don't do is I don't talk about gossip stuff or what pharmaceuticals or anything do, but I know that this is about health and wellness. So that's the reason why I asked that question. To wrap up,
advocate for it.
Wellness. We advocate for wellness and health because that's
Absolutely.
what
This is why we're here. This is why I'm here. 100%. You eat what we put in our bodies. If it's clean, we'll just positivity, good decision making. Placebo, you put the right stuff, you automatically feel good, you look good, you're moving. I'm all for it.
Okay. All right. Coach Pat, you remind me a little bit of Kevin Hart. You got that energy. You got that.
Oh, yeah, I got that. I'm a little taller than him. I'm taller than him, though. But, yeah, I do got that Kevin Hart.
Rebecca, yes.
Absolutely. And I use the word clean foods a lot. Look at the nutrition labels and recognize the ingredients in there and picking foods out that are not as processed as others, so that they can continue to choose that nice, dense, high fiber, high nutrient dense foods to help nourish their bodies.
Okay. And Dr. Rachna, we'll wrap up with you because you said that's part of your culture and how you grew up as a vegetarian as well.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a resounding yes to clean eating, but I would also add as best as one can do. So again, don't beat yourself up. Don't go for the ideal. Do the best you can do at this point in time.
Okay. That's it?
Yes.
Short, sweet, and to the
Be
point.
well.
Yes, short, sweet, and to the point. I thank you all for taking time out to engage with our audience and let them know that, it's all about mental health and wellness. And this is Sheppard Pratt's Minorities and Mental Health Forum for Holistic Wellness in 2025. Having fantastic 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, make your days count. And I thank you very much. All right. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.